Wouldn't it be nice if love came with a blueprint? I know it sounds unromantic, but wouldn't it save us so much miscommunication and heartache? Well, luckily, we have approximations. If we look at the research, we can chart out the chapters that most ordinary relationships go through and answer the age-old question, does happily ever after really exist? I'm Jordan Travers, a licensed psychotherapist, and today we're walking through the 5 stages of romantic love and the stage where most couples fall apart. Stage 1, the moon landing phase, which lasts the first 6 months. In the beginning, love feels like a drug. You're high on dopamine. Everything they say sounds poetic. Every little bad habit seems charming. We want to know everything about them. Their favorite cereal, the scar on their knee from 3rd grade, what makes them laugh at 2 a.m. And they want to know you too. It feels effortless, magnetic, and meant to be. In therapy, I see couples describe this stage like it was the best version of themselves, and it's beautiful. But here's the truth. This phase isn't love. Not yet. It's infatuation. Psychologically, this stage is fueled by neurochemical fireworks, dopamine, oxytocin, and a deep desire to attach. It's your brain rewarding closeness, but it's also blinding you to reality. Research shows that people highly attached during this stage actually show reduced cognitive control, which means you're more likely to ignore red flags, move too fast, or mistake intensity for compatibility. So what do? You slow down, you stay present, and most importantly, you stay honest. Talk about expectations, not just the fun things like travel dreams and favorite movies, but the hard things too. Ask them, how do you fight? What scares you in relationships? And what does love mean to you? Because couples who ask those questions now are the ones who are better prepared for what's coming next. Stage 2, the phase of exploration, from 6 months to 2 years. This is when the rose-tinted glasses start to come off. You begin to see them more clearly, and not everything is cute anymore. They interrupt you too much. They leave their dishes in the sink, and they shut down during arguments. And suddenly, the spark you felt starts to flicker. This is the stage where fantasy meets friction, where the relationship stops being a dream and starts becoming reality. In therapy, this is the phase where most people ask, did I make a mistake? Or why don't I feel the same way anymore? The truth is, you're just stepping into reality. The chemicals have settled, and what's left is choice. This phase activates uncertainty, and research suggests that people experience heightened emotional distress during ambiguous or unpredictable relationship moments because they hate not knowing where they stand. But here's what I tell my clients. This stage isn't the end. It's the beginning. If you avoid hard conversations now, resentment builds. If you lean in, you grow. So ask the real questions like, what do we want this to look like long term? What are our non-negotiables? And what do we do when we disappoint each other? This phase is a test, not of perfection, but of emotional honesty. And couples who pass it don't fall back in love. They fall forward into something deeper. Stage 3, the adaptation phase, post 2 years. Eventually, the rush slows down. You're no longer planning surprises. You're figuring out the Wi-Fi bill. And somewhere between shared errands and laundry days, you stop asking, what do we want to be? And start asking, what are we having for dinner? It's not that you've fallen out of love. You've just entered a phase where the relationship starts demanding real adjustment. In my practice, this is the stage where I see the word resentment show up quite often. Not always loudly, not always clearly, but often enough. Because you start noticing who's keeping score, who's doing more, who's starting to disappear beneath the weight of we. And research backs this up. A 2022 study found that unequal division of domestic labor, especially emotional labor, contributes to decreased sexual satisfaction and overall relational burnout, particularly among women. So yes, love survives on presence and kindness, but it also survives on fairness, on daily negotiations of what do we both need and are we still asking for it? The couples who move through this phase successfully aren't the ones who avoid conflict. They're the ones who don't let it harden into silence. Stage 4, the commitment phase, beyond 2 years. There's a point where passion no longer feels urgent. You're not chasing each other anymore. You've already arrived. And that's when many couples start to drift. Not because something went wrong, but because they stopped noticing what's still right. In this phase, I often hear my clients say, I just don't feel connected anymore. Or we love each other, but we're not in love. This makes sense. According to a longitudinal study, marital satisfaction tends to decline during the first 20 years of marriage, often due to increased life stressors, routine overload, and declining novelty. But it's not that love disappears. It just gets buried under life. Here's what research also shows. Intentionality can reverse that curve. Couples who stay curious, emotionally responsive, and actively engaged in each other's world often see satisfaction rise again in the later years. So if you've forgotten how to be lovers, start by remembering how to be friends. Ask new questions, share something you've never said out loud, bring back the curiosity that helped you fall in love in the first place. It's not about recreating the spark. It's about feeding the flame, the slow, steady one that still burns under the surface. Stage 5, the acceptance phase, beyond 5 years. This is the rarest stage and maybe the most profound. It's when you stop needing your partner to fix everything and just want them beside you while you're figuring it out. You're not chasing idealized versions anymore. You're loving who they are, flaws, habits, history, and all. This kind of intimacy doesn't come with time. It comes with repair. I often see these couples speak a different language, less urgency and more presence. They fight, yes, but they fight to understand, not to win. And studies support this. Research suggests that emotional responsiveness and perceived partner gratitude are key predictors of long-term relationship satisfaction and resilience. In other words, relationships that aren't built on constant happiness, they're built on feeling seen. And when you've made it here, love isn't loud, it's quiet, it's steady, and it's undeniable. And if you're hoping to help your relationship reach this stage, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. I'm Jordan Travers. I'm the Clinical Director of Awake Therapy, reminding you that love is a journey, not a destination. And I'll see you next time. Bye.